this is the Big Huge Mess. Hey guys, welcome to episode 52 of the Knit Now Swatch Later podcast. My name is Courtney. Today is Thursday, February 10th, 2022, and I'm coming to you from Pennsylvania, where I live with my husband and our 2 dogs and 2 cats. You can find me on Instagram as Knit Now Swatch Later and on Ravelry as Pup, and you can find links to everything that I talk about in the show notes down below, as well as a link to our Ravelry group and to the shop newsletter. So I'm going to just jump right in. I'm a little crunched for time today, but that's okay. We're going to make it work. So the first thing that I have to show you guys is a finished object, which is this Yarrow wristlet, which I have linked in the show notes. I attached this "We're All Mad Here" charm that I've had forever. There is a pocket on the front where I keep my lip balm from Glossier, which is one of my favorite things right now. I made the little, I don't even know what to call this, handle, which I usually really struggle with fabric handles, which is why they are not on my project bags. So this is pretty impressive, but it unzips all the way around on this curve, and then let me take out my pen. There are card slots and a little zipper inside. So yeah, I mean, it's a little bit crooked, but I think it turned out really good for my first try at this pattern and for my first try at something like this in general. I've never sewn a wallet or wristlet or anything of that nature. I usually just stick to tote bags and project bags and backpacks. So this is my first foray into that. And I think it turned out pretty well. I use it every day now and I really like it. So moving in to works in progress, I have in my little Hey Sister pin bag from Mama S Creations, my Musselburgh. So Piglet is marking where I was the last episode of the podcast. I have made quite a bit of progress, but I don't even think I'm halfway there yet. So yeah, it's pretty simple, mindless knitting, which I love, and I'm just moving my progress keeper so I don't forget. But yeah, I am knitting this on my Chowgoo needles in the magic loop method, and I'm really enjoying it. It's nice to reach for when I just want some mindless knitting in the round over and over and over again. So let's make progress on that. Next up, I have my Weekender Light in this bag. So not a whole lot of progress on this one, but Oogie Boogie is marking where I was the last episode. So a few rows here. But this one is another pretty mindless knit. However, I do have to pay attention to the slip stitches in the middle, so it's not completely mindless. So I haven't been reaching for this quite as often as I have my Musselburgh. But yeah, so I am still enjoying that. It's just not quite as easy right now. I have been really needing some easy, simple knitting lately. So let's talk about my next work in progress, which is completely the opposite of easy and mindless, but it's in my little Alice in Wonderland bag. And this is Sock Camp Picnic by Kay Litton, who is the crazy sock lady. I have 2 full repeats of the pattern so far, and I'm really enjoying it, but this is definitely one that I have to sit down and pay attention and mark every round of the pattern, so it is kind of slow going, but I mean, I cast it on Sunday, I believe, so not too bad as far as progress goes. I cast this on in some leftover yarn from my stash. This is Haute Knit yarn in the colorway Holy Crap on a Cracker. And I chose this yarn because my knit group is currently having a challenge to cast on something pink this month. So here's my cast on for knit group. And that's everything for works in progress. So I'm going to move into books. I finished reading Play Dead by Ted Dekker. I enjoyed it. I thought that I really enjoyed it until I started my next book, which is Scythe by Neal Shusterman. And it took me about a month to read Play Dead, which is about 420 something pages. And then yesterday around 3:30ish, I picked up Scythe by Neal Shusterman, and I read the first like 220 pages. So I don't think I enjoyed Play Dead as much as I thought that I did. It was a really interesting story about futuristic virtual integration into like completely virtual worlds where you can't even tell that you're not in, or that you are in a virtual reality. So it was interesting, but it just didn't move as quickly as I like for my books to move to keep my attention. So, but I am really enjoying Scythe. It's the first of a trilogy. So far I'm planning on continuing the series. I am really enjoying it. It's a dystopian, of course. That's like pretty much all that I read. And but basically it's perfect worlds where people have overcome disease and like medical issues. So basically they've defeated mortality itself. So but like population control was still an issue because obviously these people are reproducing and none of them are dying like ever. So they introduced this system for population control, which is where the scythes come in, and they're basically commissioned to maintain the world population by eliminating randomly people to keep the numbers down, and they try to keep them equal to what they were back in the age of mortality, which is what they call it. So I think it's really interesting. The whole concept is interesting. I will never not be interested in dystopian novels. They are by far my absolute favorite. And then Neal Shusterman was the author of the Unwind series. I also really enjoyed the first 2 books, but I quit on the 3rd book of that series because I just wasn't interested in the story anymore. It didn't seem like it was following the same like storyline as the first 2 books. The first 2 books were action-packed and really interesting, and the 3rd one just kind of lost me, so I put it down and I never looked back. But I am really enjoying this book, and I believe this book was recommended to me by a viewer a long time ago. As soon as I'm blanking on who recommended it, but as soon as she recommended it in the comments, I ordered it. And she also recommended the Birthmarked trilogy and the Testing trilogy. So the only one I haven't read yet is the Testing trilogy, but it is on my list. I will get there someday. But that's it for books. That was a really long book section, but moving into shop update things. There is a new print in the shop since the last episode. It is the spring floral print, which I have right here. This is what the outside looks like. This is the sock pouch size, so it's a little bit smaller. Then the inside has this yellow stripe. So I only have one more of the project bag size, the like bigger size, and then I think I have 5 of these in the sock pouch size. So if you guys are interested in those, you can always use the code KnitNowSwatchLater for 15% off of your purchase. And you can also sign up for the shop newsletter, which is linked down below, where I will be sending out information as soon as I know when the next shop update is going to take place. The people signed up for the newsletter will be the first to know, and I might also send out a coupon code. So keep an eye out if you're signed up for the newsletter. As far as chat goes, not a whole lot has been going on recently. We've just been super busy. Yeah, there's really not much to report here. I have been trying to focus a little bit more on self-care, which if you follow me on Instagram, you may have seen I started a new, I don't know, series, I guess, where I am posting every day something that I did for myself. And then at the bottom of the story post, I have a hashtag that says, "What have you done for you today?" And I have really enjoyed you guys' responses to my story every day, and it makes me feel really good that you guys are feeling inspired to pick up your knitting or your reading or taking a bath or just whatever it takes for you guys to take a little bit of time for yourself. So I am really having a good time with that over on Instagram. If you haven't joined us already, make sure to hop over to Instagram and let me know what you've done for you today. Other than that, I think that's pretty much it. So thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed this episode, please make sure to like this video and subscribe to my YouTube channel. I share a new podcast every 2 weeks, so until next time, happy knitting. Bye!